Having a sense of humor as a police officer can help you in more ways than you possibly know. I want to go over a few ways in this video and how you can strengthen and maintain your sense of humor during your career. Oh, this is going to be good. Hi, my name is Scott. I've been a cop for a while, over a decade, and I must say, having a sense of humor is imperative. Expressing humor when appropriate is important as well. But what I did not know is that a sense of humor can actually help you in many different areas of your life and your work. So let's get right to it. I want to go over ways on how having humor can help you at work, but also how you can strengthen and maintain your sense of humor while on the job. The first thing is this. Did you know having a good sense of humor can help with your work productivity, which I believe in the aspect of law enforcement is very good. I, along with many other police officers, do not particularly care for the work of lazy police officers, or the lack of work that they do, or don't do, or fail to do. Fail being lazy. But I also really am a firm believer that the public does not deserve lazy police officers. So having a sense of humor is just one more thing you can put in your toolbox to help improve and increase and maintain a good work productivity. Number two, having a sense of humor can increase this. Yes, motivation. My gosh, the whole purpose of this whole channel to keep police officers motivated during challenging times and during the stress and trauma of the job. So hey, motivation. It has been shown utilizing humor relates to and affects your ability to communicate and cooperate with fellow coworkers, people in the public that you interact with. It can also strengthen a police department or a sheriff's office with a more positive culture because of humor, and it increases motivation. People will be more motivated if humor is involved. Number three, having a sense of humor can increase this, skills in this. Decision making. The more humor you have, the more flexible you might tend to be, in which case, considering policing where there's very rarely at some points black or white and there's kind of a gray area, but yet you have to make split-second decisions, you're more flexible, and your ability to go over analytical processing really quick inside your brain is helped because of your sense of humor or having humor, and you're more flexible. You can make better decisions, quicker decisions. And believe me, the book, the manual, is not always the answer. You will have to improvise and adapt. And sometimes having that sense of humor will help with making the decision.
But obey the law and department policies.
Number four. When appropriate, having a sense of humor, using humor is absolutely imperative and helpful when trying to persuade someone out of a tense situation, de-escalate a situation, settle an argument. You can be more persuasive. How many times in policing do we have to be persuasive through the skills of using verbal judo? As a police officer, you obviously want to persuade someone to cooperate. You want to persuade someone to not get violent and hurt others. You want to persuade someone to not take their own life and to live another day and to give themselves a second chance. How many times do we have to be persuasive? There are times when you can use humor and it can help with being more persuasive. For instance, in the past, when I've responded to domestic calls where it's a Hispanic family, I'll be the first to tell them, I don't speak Spanish. But here's what I say. With a big smile on my face, I say, yo quiero que hablar español, pero no puedo. And what it translates to is, I want to speak Spanish, but I can't. And you'd be surprised, 99.9% of the times they laugh, they smile, and it is that split second where I distract them from the tension of the family argument, the wreck that happened, whatever the case may be, and I can become persuasive on talking about the solution because I broke it down because of a sense of humor. They were more willing to listen to what I had to say with me presenting the solution because I used a sense of humor, and therefore they were willing to listen to me, see what I had to say to persuade them to not handle it the way they were handling it, instead to reach a solution for the argument. Hope that makes sense. Number five, likability. Yes, have people like you. I'm not saying kiss their butt, no, but having a good sense of humor, when appropriate, can definitely help someone to like you, which means they'll be more open to you, which means they're more willing to listen to you, which means they can go right back to number four, more persuasive. I pulled over a guy one night for a possible driving while impaired. I said, hello, sir, how much have you had to drink? And he said, well, officer, I've had about 16 beers. And so we both started laughing. I didn't say, sir, that's not funny. I'm not making a joke about DWI. It is serious. I lost a friend because of it. But at that time, at that stop, he said a joke, and by gosh, you guaranteed I laughed. He liked me, was more willing to listen to me, found out he was not impaired at all, which is probably the reason why he made such a good joke and the way he said it. Then I found nothing wrong with laughing with him and having a good sense of humor. Another thing I like to do is whenever I encounter someone who tells me I don't like police, I say, hey, neither do I. And they look at me like, what? And once again, split-second distraction from tension, from irritability, from wanting to do bad things to good people or hurt me. That comment right there, that humorous comment right there can sometimes get their attention, and then I can, boom, find something we both have in common that I can start to make myself more likable, and all because of a good, humorous line. Hope that makes sense as well. So how do we strengthen and maintain our sense of humor through a job where we're exposed to a lot of stress, trauma, critical incidents, demands, processes that seem endless when it comes to paperwork, court proceedings? How do we keep a sense of humor in that rather than becoming just some disgruntled veteran? Well, the first thing I would say is this: smile. No, seriously. Oh, seriously, smile. In my book, 101 Health Tips for Police, I do go over how when you smile, and this is what I learned through my research, when you smile, it actually can trigger a signal to the brain that you should be happy. When you're ticked off, when you're mad, as one thing you can do, just smile. And all those muscles working together to smile, because you can't smile when you're thinking about something that makes you upset. When you smile, you think about smiling, the brain says, oh, must be happy for some reason. Hey, why not? Do it. When you're going through something that is frustrating, try to smile when appropriate. The second thing is this: laugh when appropriate. Laugh at yourself and laugh when things are a joke. Like I talked about that one guy who told me that he had 16 beers to drink when it was absolute joke. I laughed. It's not that you can't laugh on calls when you go to them. You can absolutely laugh. Heck, laughter will a lot of times bring the tension down when you're dealing with people who are very hostile or standoffish towards you. Sense of humor. Laugh. But also, this helps with maintaining your sense of humor, because when you laugh at conversations with coworkers, when you laugh overall in general, guess what? It really helps your health. So strengthen and maintain by laughter. Number 3, this is going to sound cheesy. This is going to sound like it won't work, but I'm telling you, it can. Make a promise to yourself that you will never become that jerk cop who's always serious all the time and can't connect with people. They are out there. Make a promise. What do you mean, make a promise? What is that? No, when I got started, I made 2 promises to myself. 1, I will never lose my sense of humor. 2, I will never become a fat cop. Little did I know all the other things that could happen because of the job, but I've had to learn the hard way along the way. But those were 2 things I definitely remember doing. And I think overall I've done a darn good job of doing that. You can do the same for yourself. Make a promise to yourself that you will not lose your sense of humor and you will not become a jerk. Number 4, hang around the funny officers. I think everybody needs a good laugh, and when you hang around miserable, disgruntled, negative officers, guess what you are going to become? Miserable and disgruntled.
Guilty as charged.
But when you hang around the funny officers, the ones who are uplifting and can have jovial conversations, it will definitely help deal with the demands and the stress of the job. There's one officer who I always enjoyed hanging around. I'm glad he showed up on calls. I'm glad I got to see him throughout the years at the department where I worked at the time. He has since retired, but no matter what I was going through, no matter how miserable I was about some call that happened or how a policy and procedure went down that I didn't agree with, look, things happen. I would get upset. If I came around him, I'd be laughing within 10 seconds. Find that officer that can make you laugh and you enjoy being around, and therefore it'll lift your spirits, and therefore it can lift your ability to strengthen and maintain your sense of humor. Also, have the ability to laugh at yourself. When people make fun of you, just go with it. Laugh at it. When you make a mistake, laugh at it. Once again, if appropriate. Like I went to a domestic one time where I knocked on the front door of a house, didn't know the officers were with their family out in the backyard. No one came to the front door. I said, oh, they must be in the backyard. I started walking down the front porch steps. It's a rainy night. I slipped on those steps, and I mean my feet came out from under me so fast and fell so hard it hurt my hip, but I started laughing at myself because I know people saw it, but I was just laughing at myself. I didn't get mad like, gosh dang, I can't believe I fell. No, laughed at myself, and I tried to laugh the pain off too, because left a big bruise. But anyway, laugh at yourself. When I stepped through a lady's ceiling, unfortunately, while clearing her house, trying to look and make sure no one else was in her house after someone had broken in, stepped through her ceiling, I had to laugh at myself for doing it, made amends with her, city paid for the damages, I had to laugh at it. As long as nobody gets hurt, laugh at yourself. Number 5. Yes, watch comedies. Look, basically put, our minds are what we are exposed to. So if all you're exposed to, on the work is negative officers, negative situations, paperwork, frustrating things, and then you go home and you just watch serious and intense movies or something like that, or you listen to, or you watch the news constantly, then that's a lot of negativity for your mind to work its way out of, and it won't really help your sense of humor. Where if you watch comedies, you're exposed to humor, and also when you watch comedies, you can learn how to communicate to people in a funny way when it's appropriate to help de-escalate and bring the tension down. Definitely give it a try. Watch comedies. Plus, it just helps you decompress after a long shift versus reaching for that alcohol, which is going to affect your sleep, your health, all kinds of things in the long run. So those are ways that humor can absolutely help you. Those are ways that you can strengthen and maintain your sense of humor while you're on the job in policing. If you did like this video, please click the like button. I would be honored. Share below what you do to strengthen and maintain your sense of humor, or just share a humorous story. I don't care. I shared some in this video. Take care of yourself, all right? And may God bless. Do not forget to secure your copy of the book, 101 Health Tips for Police Officers. The link to get it is below.